Hey guys, so today we are going to be looking at 55% Dokkanfest AGL transforming Trunks. Obviously this is Trunks from basically his first appearance in the series when he fights Mecha Frieza and King Cold. Let's start with just going over his kit and the teams that I've built for him here. So leader skill is Entrusted Will, or Android/Cell Saga category, key +3, HP 130%, and attack and defense plus 170%. Really just like sort of like one of those categories where it's like kind of very subjective. Like what does Entrusted Will really mean? Like I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but category isn't like terribly bad. It's just one of those sort of arbitrary categories that doesn't really make that big of an impact on the game, but it is what it is. Super attack effect when he's before transformed is the Flash Blade, raises defense for 1 turn and causes immense damage to enemies. So this is a 30% defense increase on the super attack effect here. Seems a little bit weak until you look at his passive, which we will in a second here, and you guys will understand why it's actually ridiculously good. Passive is the super high speed technique, attack and defense plus 100%. Then he gets an additional 100% attack and defense when attacking. So you guys know how Dokkan works. Those calculations are separate, so it's not just 200% attack and defense, it is actually a lot higher than that. Then he has a great chance of launching up to 2 additional attacks. Those cannot be super attacks, so keep that in mind. Then he launches another additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack every time the character attacks 3 times in battle, up to once within a turn. So just to give you guys, I guess, just an overview of how that works, because honestly, just looking at this description of the passive, it's hard to really picture in your mind if you don't know how this unit works. Like just this mechanic, because this is the first time we've actually seen this mechanic, and even on JP up until now, there has not been another character that has this mechanic on them. So basically how this works is, let's say you get just a normal super attack with this Trunks, right? He does his first attack, which is a super attack. Then he can attack up to 2 times with his passive. Each has a great chance of launching, so it's a 70% chance. In fact, I think the actual chance of launching an additional attack from his passive, I think the first additional, I might be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure the first additional is guaranteed, and the second additional is a 70% chance, but you can correct me if I'm wrong on that. So assuming he gets the 3 attacks from his passive, he then has another 70% chance to launch a super attack. So he can attack 4 times, and then because he's AGL, even though he's only at 55%, we still can get the hidden potential system to activate, which means this guy could potentially super 3 times in a turn and normal twice. So he can attack 5 times in a single turn. That's pretty dumb. And then on top of that, let's just picture this scenario as well. You get a super attack with this unit, then you get only 1 additional from his passive. So you don't get the second additional, only the first additional activates. The hidden potential can still activate after that second additional, even though the third one didn't activate from his passive, and that would still activate the great chance to launch an additional super attack. So I think the chances of you actually getting 3 attacks with this character, even if you don't get the double additional from the passive, is ridiculously high because of the hidden potential and him being AGL. So the typing, I think, is a pretty big deal for this guy. They did a good job at making him AGL. Then on top of that, he has a transformation. This is obviously, you know, when he transformed against King Cold and Frieza, Super Saiyan. So the active skill conditions can be activated after performing 6 or more attacks in battle once only. Now, if I had to critique this unit and give like one downside to him that I wish they would have changed, personally, I wish they would have made that 5 attacks instead of 6. And the reason is because of what I just described. The most attacks this guy can get in a single turn, no matter what he's at, if he's at 55% or Rainbow, the maximum amount of attacks he can do in 1 turn is 5. So you'll actually you will never see this guy transform on turn 3 because he can't fulfill that condition until turn 4 or 5. So it's, you know, turn 4, actually no, it wouldn't be turn 4, it would be turn 5. Turn 5 would be the earliest he could get it. So yeah, turn 5 or 6 is the earliest time he can actually get that transformation off, which at this point in the game, turn 5 is actually pretty late in terms of Super Battle Road. But with the Red Zone event out on JP, I mean, you can definitely see turns 10 plus in that event because it's so difficult. But we'll take a look at his post-transform state in a second, but that's the condition for him to transform. Then the active skill effect is not only a transformation, he actually also stuns the targeted enemy and seals them for 1 turn. So it basically renders them useless for 1 turn. They can't super attack, they can't move, they can't do anything. The issue with that is because you can only transform on turn 5 or later, by the time you're able to actually transform in Super Battle Road, for example, the enemy team is most likely just going to be dead completely, or it's going to be used as sort of like I guess like a finishing move, like you lock in the win via this transformation, because generally at that point there's only going to be like 1 or 2 enemies alive, and you basically neutralize completely one of the enemies, and that's it, right? In that case, it's pretty good, but I feel like unless you have like a very, beginner-ish account that's not really able to do as much damage as you would like to the enemies in Super Battle Road, it's not really going to be that useful. In terms of his links before transforming: Messenger from the Future, Cold Judgment, Royal Lineage, Saiyan Warrior Race, Shocking Speed, and Fierce Battle. The one critique I have about this link set is the fact that he does not have Prepared for Battle. I think Prepared for Battle over something like Messenger from the Future definitely would have been preferred, but because he's a Trunks character that's, coming to the past from his timeline, I guess they felt the need to give him Messenger from the Future. I would have also taken Prepared for Battle over something like Royal Lineage, but it is what it is. Shocking Speed, I don't really... I mean, it's okay with like other units that we're going to take a look at with him here, but it's not the greatest link of all time. So once he transforms, let's go take a look at what he does post-transformation. The art is pretty cool. I do like this art a lot. So the super attack effect becomes the Shining Sword attack. Greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn and causes immense damage to enemies, so obviously that's a very, very powerful super attack effect at 50% raise on both of those stats for 1 turn. Passive becomes the Prediction of 3 years hence. Attack and defense plus 100% and great chance of performing a critical hit, so 70% chance of performing a critical hit. Performs a critical hit once only, plus an additional attack and defense plus 100% when performing a super attack. So up until this point, he hasn't really changed that much, other than the 70% chance to get a crit, but obviously that's very, very big, right? Then he gets an additional attack plus 50% when when the target enemy is in attack down or defense down status. Then he gets an additional attack plus 50% when the target enemy is stunned or sealed. And then he has a high chance of stunning the attacked enemy for 2 turns when all enemies attacking in the same turn are androids / Cell Saga category characters. So, how do I want to word this? Like I mentioned during his pre-transformation breakdown, a lot of these effects are only going to be usable in Super Battle Road, right? When you go into these longer style events, including the new very tough event, the Red Zone on JP, all of the enemies are immune to having their attack lowered, having their defense lowered. They can't be stunned, they can't be sealed. So when you get this transformation on turn 5 or turn 6, right, you're not really going to be able to make use of the additional buffs he's getting from his passive because the enemies can't be affected by those status debuffs. And so when you really compare the post-transformed version of this Trunks to the pre-transformed version of this Trunks, in a lot of cases, like, I would honestly say in most cases, there's not really a good argument to wanting to transform with this unit. And you could even make the case that his defense, honestly, is probably even, almost guaranteed his defense is going to be better pre-transformation because of the fact that he's getting multiple supers and he's stacking that 30% defensive raise on a super attack effect over and over and over again. His links, I think, change. Yeah, only one of the links changed. So yeah, it has Super Saiyan instead of that Saiyan Warrior Race. Yeah, Saiyan Warrior Race becomes Super Saiyan. And then his categories, he's on a lot of teams. He's on Entrusted Will, Hybrid Saiyans, Future Saga, Time Travelers, Vegeta's Family, Android Cell Saga, Bond of Master and Disciple, Saviors, Battle of Wits, Super Saiyans, and Transformation Boost. Now to look at the 3 teams I built for him, we have his own team, the Entrusted Will / Android / Cell Saga team. Obviously going to have him next to... I did want to bring this Heart Virus Goku who came out alongside him. They actually do link up fairly well. I believe they share 4 links with each other prior to Trunks transforming. And then once he transforms, I think they might even share 5. Does he have Saiyan Warrior Race? Yeah, okay, so they actually do just share 4 links. I started link leveling that guy a little bit. He's at 1 dupe, by the way. Next team is going to be the Hybrid Saiyan / Savior category. Pretty much every Hybrid Saiyan that comes out does a good job of fitting on this team. And then the last team is going to be the Battle of Wits / Majin Buu Saga category teams. I think Trunks is a character that could just look good on all of these teams, but again, I think the lack of prepared for battle is going to really, really hurt this Trunks. So again, the two things I would change about him is number one, I really wish his transformation condition was 5 attacks instead of 6, and then number two, I really wish he had prepared for battle over something like Messenger from the Future or Royal Lineage, but regardless, let's go ahead and jump in with the first team. I kind of do want to take this into Super Class Super Battle Road, so we'll see how he does here, and we can, you know, sort of evaluate him from there. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the Super Class stage of Super Battle Road. Again, this is not Extreme Super Battle Road, so it's not going to be, you know, that difficult to do. I'll do a separate video on this Trunks and Extreme Super Battle Road. Just want to sort of get a feel for how this guy looks initially. Again, my first time ever using him at 55% level 1 Link. So again, you pull the character, you level him up, you awaken him. This is immediately what they're going to look and feel like. So going with this sort of Trunks slash Goku build here, he should link up fairly well with the units on his team. Going to have both the Trunkses on main rotations, so let's go ahead and jump in here. Not a crazy item array that we have here. Support memory is kind of just standard. Alright, looks like we have Trunks and the... Oh, let me take auto off. That's that would be good. Trunks next to Heart Virus Goku is a very good rotation because Trunks obviously does want to attack first before he gets a hit. And Heart Virus Goku can very easily take hits before he does anything. So we're going to go ahead and do this, put him in the middle. Now with this specific setup, this Trunks in the middle does have 5 out of 7 active here. Missing Cold Judgment, which is a pretty big deal. As you guys know, Cold Judgment does give a lot of defense. So, I mean, specifically in this event, we're not really going to be, I think, hurting too badly because it's not that difficult. But 5 out of 7 links is pretty good. With Heart Virus Goku specifically, he does have 4 links here. And then I guess he does... What links does he share? Saiyan Warrior Ray, Saiyan Lineage, Shocking Speed, Fierce Battle. So I guess he's sharing Royal Lineage with this guy over here. Now this guy, this STR Trunks, does want there to be other crossover characters in rotation, which we don't have, obviously. But he does work pretty well with this AGL Trunks, so that's why I put him on the team anyway. I am going to go ahead and attack Frieza here. If we can just take him out, that would be ideal. So starting defense at 75k, but remember he gets an additional 100% attack and defense at the start of turn, and then on top of that he's also raising defense by 30% for every super attack he does. So let's go ahead and attack Frieza here, and things should be completely fine. Don't have to worry about anything. Okay, let's see how we do here. Heart Virus Goku should also look pretty impressive here. He's what does he have? Key plus 5, 59% chance to do an additional crit and damage reduction. That's pretty good. So yeah, Frieza. Well, Goku might just finish him himself. If we get one more additional here. Remember, he is physical, so he does have extra additionals in his... Okay, he did not. How much does this do to Heart Virus Goku? Like 0? Literally 0 damage. Alright, he's pretty good. And then AGL Trunks here with the 2.7 million attack stat. Remember, he has like 4 more attacks coming after this, depending how lucky we get. So there's one additional normal. One more additional normal. Okay, perfect. Now we should get another super. There we go. So his defense right now is probably hovering at around 220k, I would say. Maybe something similar to that. We did not get the additional 5th attack. Whether or not it was going to be an additional super, we don't know. But remember, he can attack one more time after that. Okay, so this rotation, we have 6 out of 7 active, which is pretty good. This Trunks, by the way, did just get an easy A, so I put him on the team as well just to see how well he does. This Yardrat Goku is pretty solid, so all in all, looking pretty good. 67k defense here. With this Tech Trunks, let's go ahead and attack you. And then AGL Trunks should be able to finish off the fight by killing Shisami here. And if not, the Yardrat Goku should be able to. Okay. So, only 2.5 million. Oh yeah, because I think he gets different buffs when fighting multiple enemies, so... He is guarding, that's good. Alright, and this Trunks at 2.5. The Shisami's 100% dead here, by the way. Nice. Yep. Goodbye. One more. There we go. Now, we still can get one more attack here, depending if we get lucky with the 10% hidden potential system. There we actually got it, the 5th attack, okay. Double digits. And then I guess we'll move on with this attack here. Alright, so now we should be looking pretty good. I actually do want to rotate off the STR support Trunks, because I wanted this guy to be next to the other Trunks. So we have 7 out of 7 active on this turn, actually. This is going to be a ridiculous turn for this Trunks. So Cold Judgment is active here. We have 96k defense. So let's see if we can figure out what Trunks' defense is going to be here. So Trunks, starting out with 96k defense. Remember, he gets basically double that, right? He gets double that amount of defense when he supers because it's 100% raise. So he gets up to it's about 190,000 defense when he supers. And then after that, you have the 30% raise on super attack kicking in, so he's going to be at like 250,000. And then if he gets another super, he's going to be at 300k. So 2 super attacks from this Trunks is going to make him at 300,000 defense. 55%, that is very, very impressive. With Heartfire's Goku, we will attack hit here. Actually, do I want to attack hit or do I want to attack Frost? Well, yeah, let's attack hit with you, and then we'll retarget to Frost with you, just because I want Frost to pelt this Trunks at the end. Unfortunately, we're not even getting hit with this Trunks in the middle. That sucks. Okay, let's do this. And then I guess we'll just go back to hit here. Alright, this guy should look pretty damn good on this rotation. Heartfire's Goku also obviously doing his job pretty well, 2.27. He is only at 69%, so still missing quite a few amount of buffs from the rest of his paths being unlocked. Can we get one more super? Alright, this is going to be 0 damage. Fine. Trunks is at... Okay, they supering enough here? You're not going to do anything. 3 million. Wow. Okay, so let's just keep track of his damage. 3 million. 560k. 560k, so it's 4 million right now. Okay, that's 4.5 million. One more? And then we get 3 million. Okay, so he's basically over an 8 million attacks on this turn with 300k defense at 55% level 1 links. That's pretty insane. This Trunks, I mean, obviously this is like the best possible rotation for this unit. But even still, at 55% level 1 links, to be able to shoot over a combined 8 million attack stat and have that high of amount of defense, he is looking pretty deadly. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. I think this is probably what is going to turn out best for us here. I will try and take out Boda Magetta, or just Magetta, regular Magetta here. Let's do that. I guess we kind of have to grab these. And then with Trunks at the end, we'll attack you. It's regular Batamo. Okay. And if you guys haven't realized, I mean, there's like a 0% chance we ever get the transformation in this event here, so we'll have to go into a longer style event like Infant Dragon Ball History or something like that to actually get that transformation off. Which, again, is not really optimal because a lot of the additional effects he's getting from his passive, they're just not going to really work in those events. So, kind of an interesting, not really effective mechanic, but it is what it is. Alright, so on this rotation, Trunks is at 4 links. Heartfire's Goku, I guess we'll just have you attack you. And then we'll do this. Then we'll do this. Now, the one downside I would say for this Trunks for sure is just the fact that he really does have to attack first before taking any kind of damage because he gets, like, I don't know, 80+%? No, maybe not that high. Like 65 to 70% of his defense comes from him actually attacking, right? Both from the passive, the 100% chance, or the 100% additional attack and defense, plus his super attack buffs to raise his defense. So if you put him in slot 1, he will die. Like, straight up. His defense is terrible in slot 1. So you kind of really have to pair him up with someone like Heartfire's Goku, which is why I did that here, to allow him to build up to a number where he, even if he takes a super attack in this event, he should be completely fine. Alright, so finally, we're on the last fight, and rotation's established. It just took a long time. And this kind of sucks, though, because... Do I do this? You have 4 links here. I really wanted to have this Trunks first, but if Rosé is going to be attacking in the front there, I don't want to do that. I think we'll just keep it, because we're going to probably just kill them anyway next turn. So we'll just keep things this way. And I guess what we'll do is we'll just focus solely on Rosé here. Let's go ahead and do that. I really do hope they super the Trunks in the middle just so we can always see what kind of tanking he's able to do. 96k defense with Cold Judgment active is very good. I think we'll just continue to... no, I'll switch to Zamasu for you. We have such little HP. Look how little HP we have. 357,000 HP. That is like borderline nothing. There's actually a chance we could die. If Zamasu supers this Trunks in the front, I believe this Trunks has a chance to guard, doesn't he? Let me just see quickly. Yeah, medium chance. Oh, great, 30%. And then on Super Attack, he does raise his defense by 30%. So his defense is going to be pretty good. It's going to be like 240-ish K once he supers here. But I still think he'd take a decent amount of damage from Zamasu's super. And then if Rose supers at the end against that STR Trunks, we probably are just dead. But it is what it is. I'm not going to use my item here just so we can see how this plays out here. I would love to get at least one additional super with this guy so we can raise defense twice. Perfect. Okay, that's actually really good. So now I think even if we get super by Zamasu, we should be okay. Okay, that's a non-factor. I really wanted him to super the AGL Trunks, unfortunately. Okay, so almost 3 million there. Obviously very good. We do have the support from the STR Trunks. Alright, so that's 2 attacks. 3. Here's the super. Can still get one more here. Potentially. Wow, we actually did get it. We got the 3 super, 2 normal god turn here. I mean, that was Trunks over a 10 million attack stat. He's going to take nothing from this. Yeah, 9 damage. No items. 9 damage from a super, no item. I mean, obviously, again, this is not the most difficult event of all time, but I mean, 55% level 1 links, that's still pretty impressive. He did over a 10 million attack stat combined on this turn. So, I mean, you can't really ask for much more from this character. What do we get in the middle here? 5 out of 7. This guy would kill him, so we'll just have Trunks finish him off here. Let's go ahead and do this. And with that, we end a very easy, relaxed, nonchalant run through Super Class, Super Battle Road. I feel like Trunks did perform very well. The fact that we were able to see that 3 super attack, 2 normal attack turn from him, even at 55%, does solidify him as one of the best Dokkanfest TWARs in the game, I think, for me. So, really, really good. I couldn't really ask for more from him here, so we will go ahead and move on to a longer style event so that we can see his transformation and also see how it compares to the pre-transform version of this character. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into the Majin Buu stage of Infinite Dragon Ball history here. We are using the Battle of Wits / Majin Buu Saga team here. Again, we're going to have Trunks next to the STR, Goku, and Vegeta. I believe they do share 4 links with each other, so it is a very good rotation. We're going to have the Pycon. Actually, he's going to be on the other rotation. No, he's going to be floating, sorry. So we're going to be able to get his support. We're going to be able to get the support from the physical Gohan as well as the Great Saiyaman 1 and 2 for the extra defense and ki. So it's pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and jump in here really quickly. I actually really do want to get this. Oh, actually the rotations are perfect. Actually, no, they're not. I have to get Tech Ultimate Gohan onto the other rotation, but it's fine. We have Trunks' rotation established completely fine here, so. Oh, he's not attacking in the front, which means we can actually do that. So with this, we have, again, 4 links active, Saiyan Lineage, Shocking Speed, Saiyan Warrior Race, and Fierce Battle. Starting out, remember, this Great Saiyaman 1 and 2 is giving a lot of defense from their support, so we have 83,000. If we had Cold Judgment active, I think Pycon does have Cold Judgment. Let me just quickly check this. Yes, he does. So if we had a rotation of Pycon in slot 3, we could do this, and that would become absurd, the amount of defense this Trunks would get. But 83k for this guy at 55% level 1 links, depending on how many supers he does here, is going to look pretty solid. He does have Shocking Speed with this guy, which is the reason why I wanted to do this, because that's really his only key link besides Royal Lineage, which I don't really like. But he's going to look pretty good here. Let's go ahead and do this. The STR Goku and Vegeta still very, very good. Let's see how well he does here. Turn 1. 2.43. His individual attack stats really don't look that good. But you have to understand how many attacks he's doing, his defensive level. Like he actually does do a lot of damage once you factor in all the different attacks that he does. Like, look at this. He's easily over a 5 million attacks on this turn. Just spread out across multiple attacks. This is going to do 0 damage. And this is why you really want him to attack first, because like we saw at the beginning, what do you have, like 83k defense, something like that? That's really bad. If you get hit before he supers, again, he will die. It's just, you know, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. His defense is bad before he attacks. But that's just the way that he was designed. So I don't really have an issue with that. It's just it limits him a little bit in where he can be used in the rotation. All right, so we're going to float off PyCon just because I want to really get him on rotation with the other rotation here. I don't really know if we really need to show the other rotation during this event. I might just go ahead and skip around after this turn, just so we can get more rotations with Trunks specifically. I do want to, I mean, the goal of me running this event is to get the transformation so that we can see the difference, right? I mean, we've seen this base form version of this Trunks hitting, like, you know, pretty consistent 5 million plus attack stats with all of his attacks factored in. And we've seen him go from 8 million, we've seen him hit as high as 10 million. We had that like ridiculous turn in the last event, which I just don't think that the Super Saiyan Trunks will be able to really replicate those turns in terms of damage output. And also defense as well. Like, all those attacks that we're doing with the base form Trunks, he's stacking 30% defense every time he does that. It's for the turn. So, it's the Super Saiyan transformation for this Trunks is very weirdly designed, I would say. Again, he's not supering in the front here, so let's go ahead and just do this. There's no support here. Same exact setup here, but instead of having 83k defense, we have 67k defense, so his defense is definitely going to be a little bit lower here. So let's just see. 67k defense, so remember, he's going to get twice that number once he supers, so he's going to be at like 135-ish k defense. Then on top of that, he's getting the 30% raise from his super attack mechanic, so he'll be at like 175k defense, and then depending on how many times he supers after that, he'll continue to stack that like 40,000. So let's grab this, do this, and then you can start stacking as well. I think we would take a little bit of damage if this Boo decided to super me here. Well, so let's see how many times we attack. Hopefully we get at least one more. If we get one more super, he'll be over 200,000. So that's good. Ah, it was a normal. Okay. Yeah, this is going to hurt. We're at sub 200k defense here with Trunks. Yeah, 100k. We should make quick work of it. Actually, only 3.9 million. Yeah, it's because no support and Tech Ultimate Gohan is good, but he doesn't really enhance the performance of the rest of the team that much. All right, so next turn is going to be the big turn. I'm actually going to not transform next turn, just because I want to see what level of attack and defense we get with the base form Trunks with the PyCon on rotation, because he is going to share Cold Judgment with him. So I really hope we take this phase out here. Come on, Vegito. Okay, perfect. Let's see what we got here in terms of orb placement. We also have type advantage. Alright, so here we have 5 out of 7 active with Cold Judgment. So here's what I'm going to do. Trunks at 80k defense. I'm going to do this just so I can show the amount of defense that Trunks is going to be at. Because if we did this, which is what I'm going to be doing at the end of the day anyway, we're going to get the orbs with PyCon, and we're not going to be able to check what Trunks' defense is. So I'm going to do this, and then we're going to see what his defense is, then I'm going to reset the app so that I can do the turn that I want in the order that I want. So if we do this with PyCon, Trunks' defense jumps up to 92k. That is very good. So after just one super attack, he'll be, let me just think. So he's going to be like 195,000, right? Because he's doubling his defense whenever he super attacks. So after he supers, he's going to get the additional 30% raise. So he'll be somewhere around 250,000 defense with one super. That's very good. So I'm going to go ahead and reset the app. We'll be right back. Alright, so let's go ahead and just have this turn play out this way. Again, I want to have this played out with Trunks prior to his transformation, and then we'll transform with him on the next turn. And we'll see how he sort of compares to his pre-transformed state here. So Goku and Vegeta, I intentionally didn't give them a lot of orbs here. I feel like Trunks really could go to town if we get a lot of luck. Alright, let's see. He's up to 2.8. So, yeah. Very high amount of defense as well. Hopefully we can get at least one more super on this turn. There's one additional normal. One additional normal. There's the super. Perfect. And we can still get one more super as well. So with this super attack, he is over 300,000 defense, by the way. Additional normal. Okay. That was a lot of damage he did on that turn, too. That was like almost approaching like 7 million attack stat. In fact, I think it probably was over 7 million attack stat if you factor in all the attack stats that he did. So again, he does do a lot of damage when you take all those individual attacks into effect. But pretty good. Let's go ahead and skip to the next turn. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and transform with Trunks here. We do have Great Salmon 1 and 2 on rotation. Let me actually just check and make sure that this is off. Okay, it was on. Glad I checked. Alright, so right now he's at 83,000 defense because of Great Salmon 1 and 2 being on rotation here. 4 links active. So let's go ahead and transform with him, and we'll see how he compares to his pre-transform state. Alright, so there we go. Remember, this Trunks, he still does get a ton of defense on supering. He's starting to turn out at the same number of defense because his start of turn buff does not change at all between prior and post transformation. But the only difference between this Trunks now in terms of defense is that he is getting an additional 100% on super attack, which is again the same, but he's getting a great raise for one turn on super attack instead of just a normal raise. So again, defense right now, it's at 83,000. We'll just say 84,000. So when he supers, that's going to take him to, 168,000 defense. And then on top of that, he's getting another 1.5 times. So he's going to be sitting at like 250,000 defense when he supers, which is, it's good, but it's not really that much different than the pre-transform state of this unit. So we'll keep things this way. I'm going to go ahead and do this with Goku and Vegeta. And then Trunks, remember, the turn that he transforms, he does do a guaranteed critical hit. So this is going to 100% chance to be a crit. And other than that, there's not really much else he has going for him here. I mean, he doesn't have any of the additional stuff active. The enemy's not attack down, they're not defense down, they're not sealed, they're not stunned. Because this guy's immune to all that stuff, right? So, oh, actually, his defense is down. Never mind, his defense is down. Okay, this guy can have his defense lowered. So, we might see a decent number here, but there's no offensive support on rotation. But let's just see how this plays out. Okay, so with this being a guaranteed crit, we have to keep that in mind when looking at his attack stat, because it's actually going to be not as reflective of his damage as it normally would be, but whatever. Alright, so he gets up to 3.19. That is a really good animation. So 3.19 guaranteed crit, and his defense was hovering around 250,000 there. That's pretty good. I mean, again, he is just 55% level 1 Link, so I will take that. But when you compare that directly to his pre-transform state, I mean, there's not like a giant jump in power that you normally see with transforming units. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut until we can get this Pycon on rotation with the Trunks, and then we'll go and see what that number looks like. Okay, so we have this rotation established here, Trunks and Pycon. We should be able to, yeah, we're going to be able to get Pycon this thing here. Okay, so 80,000 defense with the Cold Judgment Link active. The only unfortunate thing about this is that once Trunks transforms, he does swap out Saiyan Warrior Race for Super Saiyan, so we are losing one additional link that we would normally have with this unit here. But I think it's fine. Let's go ahead and just do this. I'm going to go ahead and give Trunks this, because we can give Pycon support with those orbit here. Trunks' defense is going to be the same as it was before he transformed, but I just want to see what the attack stat looks like with Pycon here. He's going to be hovering around like 96k-ish defense here before he's super attack. So once he supers, he's going to be pretty much at 200,000, give or take like 10,000 or so. And then with the 50% raise, I mean, he's going to be close to 300,000 defense here, so that's pretty good. Definitely not a bad unit once he transforms. Again, I'm just directly comparing the post-transform state to the pre-transform state. And again, there's not really that much of a performance difference. In fact, you could even argue he's a little bit worse off post-transformation. And that's a bit of a strange circumstance. So not even hitting 3 million. Wow, he doesn't even hit 3 million attacks up there. All right. I think that's because this guy didn't have his defense lowered. Which means he's not getting the additional 50% raise from his passive, right? Because the prior turn, the enemy had his defense lowered, so we were able to get that additional 50% attack boost from his passive, but this guy, since it's a new phase, he didn't have his defense lowered, so... Yeah, that is a factor to consider. I mean, but again, he does have a great chance to perform a critical hit, 70% chance, so... overall, there's like kind of the big difference between the pre-transformed and post-transformed Trunks. I don't know. Again, he does a lot of things that you would want to see in a setting like Super Battle Road, where you can actually affect the enemy with status, ailments. But in these events where you can actually get the transformation off, it's not really going to be effective, right? So that's been the Majin Buu Saga / Battle of Wits team. Let's take a quick look at the Hybrid Saiyan team, and then we'll wrap up the video. Alright, we're going to jump into Hybrid Saiyan Super Battle really quickly. This is not going to be... we're probably not even going to go through the whole event here. We'll do like a few rotations with Trunks here, just to not make this video too long, but typical Hybrid Saiyan build here. I'm going to have him next to the Goten and Trunks GT units, just because they share, I think, 4 links, and they're supporting as well. So let's go ahead and jump in here. Nothing crazy. Rotations are not bad. I'm going to rotate off the Trunks and Goten first. I do eventually want to get the Tech Ultimate going on this rotation. Let's go ahead and do this. Defense is looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and just attack you here, I guess. And then we'll have you attack Bardock, and then we'll have you attack this guy to see if we can just finish them off real quick. Okay, so the Hybrid Saiyan team has always been a team that just like has a ton of defensive support. So I do expect Trunks to have a really nice showing defensively here. Again, we're going to have him next to a unit on rotation that has support. And then on top of that, we're going to have units like that Kid Gohan floating around, so his defense is going to look really, really good. The only problem, again, is the fact that you really want to pair this Trunks off with somebody that is a good slot 1 character. Once this unit right here, the AGL, GT, Trunks, and Goten do super attack a few times, they can for sure be a slot 1 character, but like turn 1, their defense is like not great. Because this is just normal Super Battle Road, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff, but if this was like extreme Super Battle Road, and they were in turn 1, slot 1, and Ada Super, they would take a lot of damage. So we'll keep this Trunks here with him. 4 links active. Did you hear anything with the Tech Ultimate Gohan? Same lineage, okay. Yeah, we'll just keep things like this. 96k defense is really good. We will attack Fasha here. Let's do that. Switch to you. And then we'll switch back to Fasha in case she's still alive here. Alright, let's see what we're looking at here. Basically 3 million, that's pretty good. Defense is looking really solid as well. Again, he's hovering around 250k. 0 damage. We actually got pretty unlucky on this turn in terms of offense, because he only did, what was that, like 1 super, 1 additional? That is a pretty rare occurrence, especially when you get more dupes into this unit and you give him more additional via the hidden potential system. You start to get these turns where he like almost never, like that is like almost never going to happen when you actually have this guy built up with dupes here. Let's go ahead and do this. Finally, we have our rotations established. All right, so let's see what, I mean, we're honestly, we're probably going to finish this fight off here, but we'll start the next fight with a pretty solid rotation, right? We have double support for the Trunks, and things are going to look pretty good. Alright, honestly, I kind of just do want to finish off this turn here. Please crit. Crit, 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 crit. Damn it. Alright, you guys will crit, right? Alright, it's not going too well. 0 crits the whole turn so far. Whatever. I mean, this guy can additional. I gave him max additional. Come on, do it. Additional. Damn it. Oh, great. Fantastic. Okay, well, what does he share in the middle here? He has 6 out of 7. Damn, this would have been such a good turn. 112k. So, if this was the first turn of the next fight, he's starting out with 112k defense. Again, he's doubling his defense here. And then on top of that, he's getting 1.3 times that amount. So he's going to be, with one super attack, he'll be close to 291. 291k defense. And then if he supers twice, he's going to be at like 360. So he is, yeah, pretty stupid with this setup here. But we're going to put in slot 1 just so that we can see what kind of offensive number he's going to put out here. Watch him super me right away. That would suck. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but. Okay, and we're at 3.4. Yeah, he's looking crazy powerful in this rotation. Just really wish it was the first turn of the next fight. All right, we'll skip around here for a second until we can get the rotation that I want. Okay, so here we go. This is a really powerful rotation. I'm probably going to make this the final turn of the video just because we've seen pretty much everything this Trunks can do at this point. But this is a lot of defensive support. We have what is this? 98% defensive support. Kid Gohan giving 58%, and then the GT Trunks and Goten giving 40%. So he has 40% offensive support, 98% defensive support. So before he even attacks, he's sitting at 120k. So he's going to be at 240,000 when he supers, plus the extra 30%. So he's actually going to be at 320,000 defense after he supers once. He can super. If he supers twice, he'll be at 400,000 defense. Okay. I will leave Kid Gohan in the front here. His defense is also looking pretty good. Let's do this. With Trunks, I'm going to switch to... I guess we'll switch to Raditz. And there's just no way we take damage on this turn at all, so I don't really have anything to worry about. Kid Gohan, I mean, he's probably good. Yeah, he's fine. Alright, of course. Before I attack, it super me twice. Nice. Alright, Nappa should be done. I actually really wanted Raditz to super the Trunks in the middle, because he would have taken 0 damage. Alright, Trunks, what do you got for us? Basically 3 million. 3 million attack stat. Let's keep track of his attacks here. 3 million, 3.5 million, 4 million. Okay, 7 million. 10 million. Okay, so just to put this into perspective, we're going to finish the video here, but to put that turn into perspective, that Trunks did, with all things factored in, all the attacks that's factored in, basically a 10 million attack stat. 10 million attack stat. And he basically had 500k defense at 55% level 1 links. That's pretty much all you guys need to see there. So let me know down below what you guys think about this Trunks. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.